All right, Boston, we are back. And it's time for us to head into the year two season simulation with your Boston Bruins. Now, I left you guys with a cliffhanger at the end of the last video. Should we go out and acquire the RFA Brayden Point, who is available in free agency right now? I left that question with you guys, and realistically, the only way that we could acquire a guy like Brayden Point is if we free up some cap space. And I was going up and down through the roster trying to find a different way to do it. But realistically, guys, the only way to acquire Brayden Point is by getting rid of David Krejci. I saw some comments saying try out Dayton Heinen's contract, try out Alec Martinez's contract. It realistically does not work. And also, I was reading other comments, and people were saying, well, acquiring Brayden Point is kind of cheese. You're cheesing the system. The other computers should be acquiring them. The Tampa Bay Lightning should be doing something with them. That is true. Another team still may acquire him, but why can't that other team be me? Brayden Point hasn't signed. Why not? So I wanted to go through this step by step. I think I found a way to acquire Brayden Point, make him a member of the Boston Bruin team, and also not cheese the system. Make sure that Brayden Point gets what he wants, and also the Tampa Bay Lightning get a little bit back as well. All right, so first let's go into this. Brayden Point, right? We take a look at him. He is 24 years of age, 90 overall center, fantastic player. The Tampa Bay Lightning, they just won the Stanley Cup. Obviously can't offer him the kind of deal that he wants. He wants a 6-year deal. Hang on a second. 6-year deal. Oh, I can't go. Oh, what the hell am I doing? Can I not go? Oh, I can't. I guess I can't move it up after I... Yeah, all right, so it doesn't let you move it up if you don't have the salary cap available, but it does say years wanted 6 at $9.350 million. The Tampa Bay Lightning clearly do not have that salary cap to offer Brayden Point, but it's a weird thing because... I guess Brayden Point is still not considered a true superstar around the league because 90 overall, no one wants to offer him a $9.3 million contract because that would require them to give Tampa Bay their 4 first-round picks in the upcoming years. And no team with salary cap that's not a playoff team is going to want to do that for a 24-year-old. It's like the Toronto Maple Leafs trading 2 firsts for Phil Kessel. Yeah, we got Phil Kessel. We're still not a playoff team, so next year's first ends up being Tyler Seguin. The year after that is Dougie Hamilton. To acquire Brayden Point, you'd have to give up 4 first-rounders, and a team that would be willing to give up 4 first-rounders, guess what? They just don't have the cap space. So he's in a weird spot. He still can't get paid. No team wants to give up those first-round picks, and the Tampa Bay Lightning are unwilling to trade him. So here's what I'm going to do with Brayden Point. If you take a look at his expiry status, right? 1 year... No, that shouldn't be it. There you go. 1 year, he'd still be an RFA. 2 years, he'd still be an RFA. His 3rd year, he'd finally go to unrestricted free agency. So that's what we're going to do with Brayden Point. We're gonna imagine that in this universe, he is unwilling to accept any 1 year or 2 year deals, which is why he's still in free agency. He's only willing to accept a 3-year deal that would finally take him to unrestricted free agency, where he could test the market and really get paid, all right? So if I want to offer him a 3-year deal, I need to free up almost $8 million of cap space, all right? So $8 million, remember that. So that's the whole Brayden Point perspective. He wants a contract that takes him up to UFA. So I'm not going to be giving him that 1 year, $5 million deal, which a lot of people said was cheese, all right? I got to give him close to $8 million. Now, if we go up to 7.842 mil, it's going to cost this year's first, second, and third. And if I go above 7.843, it's going to cost me this year's first, second, and third, and next year's first. That's quite a lot. All right, so I'm hoping to land him somewhere in the compensation range of 5.8 to 7.8, which will cost me a first, a second, and a third-round pick for Brayden Point. All right, so now that you guys have seen all that, let's go back to proposed trade, and we will put up David Krejci. Now, you guys saw the teams that were interested in acquiring David Krejci, right? What was it? The San Jose Sharks and the Montreal Canadiens. But you know what? I decided to find a team that just works out because we're not trying to acquire anything right here. I don't want to bring back any players. It'd be nice to get first-round picks, but I don't want to trade Krejci to the Montreal Canadiens. That could come back to bite me in the ass. And the San Jose Sharks, they just really weren't offering me anything back because they were close to the salary cap. So I went through a bunch of teams right here, and I found a team that it works. David Krejci to the Nashville Predators. They have the salary cap. They want him, all right? And they're a team that's in disarray right now. I mean, I want to show you guys their forwards. Take a look at this. All right, they got Duchesne, Arvidsson. Hang on a second. Let me sort by salary. Duchesne, I don't know what happened to Ryan Johansson last year. I don't know if he got injured or what, but he still got 5 years left at $8 million per season, and he dropped to 79 overall. My God. So they missed the playoffs last year, but they still got a decent team for the upcoming season. 87 overall, Pekka Rinne. Defensemen, even though they want to trade them all, they got 4 defensemen. They just signed Jake Muzzin, and then they want to trade him. And then the forward core, I mean, David Krejci would be their third best forward overall-wise. I'd say Forsberg still simulates better, so their fourth best forward if what's-his-face doesn't get better. And they have Alexis Lafreniere, the first overall draft pick. Right, I forgot that. They moved up in the draft. They got Alexis Lafreniere, so a guy like David Krejci, it's not going to sacrifice their future at all. It's just going to help them try to get back into the playoffs, give them some depth up front. They can play him in the middle of the ice. They can play him on the wing. They can do whatever they want with him. All right, so David Krejci to the Nashville Predators, but we also have to try to free up a little bit more cap space right here. There was a defenseman. I don't know if I signed this guy or what. Clifton, a 7th defenseman, but he's got 3 years at a $1 million. I don't know if that's a two-way deal or not. I thought 2 ways. The max is 9.25 until you get to later years, but I'm just going to get that contract off my team. And in exchange from the Nashville Predators, it's unfortunate that I can't get first like I could with Montreal and San Jose, but the problem with firsts is that I would have to take back contracts. I need to have clean cap space to bring in, Brayden Point, and I don't want to trade for more players just to trade for more. We want to kind of keep this realistic. So I'm going to go 2 second-round picks from the Nashville Predators, and it looks like we can get a little bit more in there. So I'm also going to try to just get back a prospect. It doesn't have to be like a top 4 or a medium top 6, but just like a top 9, so 18 years of age. Let me just go down here, see what we got. We got this guy, Tomasino. 19 years of age, 66 overall, medium top 6. I don't think that's going to go through. I'll try it, though. All right, so David Krejci, Clifton for a second, and Tomasino, will it go through? Trade rejected. All right, so that one didn't go through. Let me see if I can get another guy. What was it? Tomasino, Zaitsev, right? Yeah, Zaitsev. 67 overall at 19 years of age, medium top 9. Might become like a 4th liner for us. All right, so we'll try it out. Krejci and Clifton for 2 seconds, and Zaitsev, will it go through? Trade accepted. All right, I am happy to accept this proposal on behalf of the Nashville Predators, and we consider it a done deal. So there it is, ladies and gentlemen. That was the big move. I'm just going to go best lines for right now. David Krejci, thank you for your time here with the Boston Bruins. A lot of people are saying he's got to stay. I mean, he was the leading point scorer in 2011 when they won the Stanley Cup. And, I wanted to keep him, but we still have the Boston Bruin core together with Bergeron, Marchand, Pasternak, Krug, McAvoy, Tuukka Rask. Yes, Chara retired, and yes, we just traded away David Krejci right now. But you know what? It was too good of a hockey move to not try to acquire Brayden Point. I mean, when you think about it, there's so many reasons why he's the way to go. First off, he's a 90 overall player. Anytime you add a 90 overall player to any team, whether it be a forward, defenseman, goaltender, you're improving that roster. He's an upgrade from David Krejci. David Krejci, an 84 overall. We've turned our second line center from an 84 overall to a 90 overall, which is gigantic for our simulation. And also, Patrice Bergeron aging up there in the first line center position. We now have our replacement for Patrice Bergeron, who will turn into a second line center, then a third line center, and a defensive specialist. So we have his destiny mapped out, and we have the replacement for Patrice Bergeron, all right? So it's just way too good of a hockey move for the Boston Bruins to pass up. Sorry, David Krejci. Thank you for your contributions, but Brayden Point, this just works out for our team so perfectly, all right? So now that we have done that with Brayden Point, we're going to offer him that 3-year deal. All right, now I still can only get him at 7.5. He wants 8, so that's not going to work. We're going to have to free up some more cap space. All right, and I'm just going to go find another trade here. It's one of our defensemen that I gave $1.2 million to. Although Vakinen is going to be our guy this year. And it looks like I'm going to have to bring Lazone up for the 7th defenseman. Because we have McAvoy, Krug, Carlo Martinez, Braun, who I want to keep, Vakinen, and then Grzelcyk. Grzelcyk at 1.6. At 79 overall, I mean, I could replace him with Lazone. Kampfer could come up. I got to free up that 1.6, all right? And for a depth defenseman, just don't need it. So let me just back out of here. All right. What did I just click on? I'm clicking the wrong buttons here, ladies and gentlemen. So defenseman, where are you? Grzelcyk. There you go. So put Grzelcyk on the block. Fine trade. I just want a draft pick back for him. There you go. 3rd and 5th from Carolina. Can we trade him to the west? 3rd and 4th from Dallas. 4th, 9th. 3rd and 6th. No, I don't want to free up any cap space for the Tampa Bay Lightning. So, yeah, we'll just a 3rd in this year's NHL entry draft and a 4th as well for the Dallas Stars for Grzelcyk, all right? Accept the trade. There you go. Grzelcyk. Oh, acquiring Matt Grzelcyk and immediately trading him away. Right, I just gave him a contract. Sorry about that, boys. We're getting Brayden Point, though, so freaking deal with it, all right? Stop bitching. All right, so we got that done. Oh, yeah, and last thing that we have to do, because we are giving Grzelcyk more money, we actually need more compensation. We need to get our 2nd rounder in there. But the problem is that we traded away our 2nd round pick, all right, to the LA Kings for Alec Martinez at the trade deadline. So we have our 1st, we have our 3rd, but we need to reacquire our 2nd, but it shouldn't be a problem. Because I just go back here to the LA Kings, all right? I acquire our 2nd rounder. And because we are supposed to be a good team in comparison to the Nashville Predators, the Nashville Predators 2nd actually has more value on it than our 2nd round pick. So I'm actually going to try to get something back here as well. Let me try to get a 5th round pick in there also. All right, so the Nashville 2nd for the Boston 2nd and a 5th. Will it go through? Trade accepted. Yep, so they wanted the Nashville pick, and they didn't really care about our pick. And so that gives us back our 2nd rounder, which will enable us or allow us to offer sheet Brayden Point. All right, free agency. So there was a little GM manipulation right there, making some moves here in Boston, boys. But I think it's the right call, and now we can take Brayden Point right up to his 1st UFA year. All right, he's done signing team-friendly contracts. And remember, I have to get him less than 7.8. So we're going to go 7.750 for 3 years. I'm buying out all of his RFA seasons. The Tampa Bay Lightning are the losers in this deal. They should have traded him away. They didn't. I'm not waiting for them to make that move. His trade value is way too high. No other team is offering anything for him. So at least the Tampa Bay Lightning, instead of letting Brayden Point just rot for nothing in free agency, they're getting a 1st, a 2nd, and a 3rd for Brayden Point, all right? That's the only people who are getting screwed over right here. So this year's 1st, 2nd, and 3rd round picks for Brayden Point. There you go. I'm fine with that. Let me back out of here right now. Now, this is going to take a while for him to accept because it's got to be like 2 or 3 days, 2, 3, 4 days for him to actually accept my offer. And then I wouldn't trade away players that Pro Scout. I fucking fired all my Pro Scouts. What are you talking about? I wouldn't trade away. Yeah, all right, I get it. It was a mistake. But for Brayden Point, I mean, you got to work your roster for a guy like Brayden Point, don't you? So like I said, Frederick for Cam. Oh my God, Frederick and 2 firsts for Cam Atkinson. Well, I'm only gonna have that 1st for a little bit, so decline trade. Teams are coming at me right now with some trade offers. My goodness. So advance the day. Geez, it's taking a while. I have decided to accept your offer as presented, but it's not a done deal just yet. I'm not able to join your team at this time. My previous team may still decide to match your offer. Well, I highly doubt that, especially now that we offered them 7.8 instead of 5. There's no way they have the cap space. There's no way that they can make a move, and no, there's no way. The Tampa Bay Lightning aren't going to match that. They're just going to take it. The Tampa Bay Lightning have decided they are not willing to match your offer of 7.50 to Brayden Point. With a somewhat sizable salary involved, you are obligated to supply 3 picks as compensation. 2021 first round pick, 2nd round pick, and a 3rd round pick. But I'd say that's a good trade because coming back the other way, a 24-year-old 90 overall second line center, soon to be first line center, Brayden Point. I am happy to be joining your team as my original team did not match the offer sheet. All right, there it is. All right, decline, and let me just edit this trading block. Get this out of the way right now. In fact, now that we have Brayden Point, I might as well just do some power of video editing. So let me go edit the lines, and I will bring you guys right back there. So there you go, Boston. Brayden Point as your second line center. I gotta say, I like the lineups the way I wanted them from the offseason, even when I didn't know if we were gonna have Brayden Point, if it was David Krejci in that spot. Doesn't matter because it's +1s across the board anyways. So if we don't make the playoffs this year, man, oh my goodness gracious. So Brad Marchand, Patrice Bergeron, Pasternak. That's a familiar first line that you guys all know. We need them to be point per game and in the plus. Second line, DeBrusk, Point, and Jacob Forsback, Carlson. Don't know how these guys are going to play together. We're going to have to get some chemistry going. We knew that last year with Krejci at 84. Once we put JFK on that line, the line was a positive line. DeBrusk was getting goals. Krejci was getting those assists. Well, actually, DeBrusk was getting both. Krejci was getting those assists, and JFK was getting those shots. Brayden Point is capable of getting some goals also, so maybe splitting those two guys up in the future might be something that we look at, but for right now, we're just going to leave it. Kreider, Heinen, and Perry. Heinen is going to be that defensive playmaker down the middle. Kreider's going to be a guy who can shoot, who can assist, and who can hit. And Corey Perry's just another one of those Jacob Forsback, Carlson types. Shoots the puck a lot, but he's 82 overall. So with Pasternak, JFK, and Corey Perry, we got three guys who really shoot the puck on each line. And then the fourth line, just a depth line with Wayne Simmonds back there. Be a little tough, maybe chip in some goals, but Colin Wilson, Sean Corrali, and Wayne Simmonds. Each line a +1. Defensively, I'm going to go with Brandon Carlo on the first line just because we get that +5 boost. If McAvoy starts to hurt, I can always move him up, but by making Carlo into an 89 overall, I mean, that's huge. And McAvoy is still a 90 with Martinez, all right? The third line's a little bit weak. We don't have Grzelcyk in there. Vakinin, it's going to be his first full year as a member of the Boston Bruins, or up in the NHL. He was playing at the AHL affiliate. We're going to have to see what he does, but still, I think that top four is good enough. We have Krug and McAvoy, two studs, who should be able to carry it, and they've been split up. Our forward lines are looking good. Our power play lines, I went back with 4 forwards. Wanted to make sure that Corey Perry and Kreider on the third line weren't getting pissed off. So Pasternak, Bergeron, Marchand, McAvoy, because he was on the top 4. I gave him first line power play time. And Corey Perry, all right, because he's going to take a lot of shots. And then Jacob Forsback, Carlson, Point, DeBrusk with Chris Kreider and Torrey Krug, all right. 4-man power play looks like that, same thing. It's just the first and second line with one of those wingers on the point. Krug and McAvoy split up. Penalty kill. Now, I just remembered something. I want to put McAvoy in the first line penalty kill because of the ice time situation. So McAvoy, Martinez, Heinen, Simmonds, Corrali, Wilson, Carlo, Braun. I wanted to get Kreider in there, but he just was not... Like, the chemistry dipped big time when Kreider was put on either line. So I went with Colin Wilson instead. 3-man penalty kill. All right, Bergeron and Corrali. Extra attackers, Pasternak, Marchand, 4-on-4. Looks pretty good. Bergeron, Marchand, Point, and Pasternak. Yeah, baby. 3-on-3, same thing. Bergeron, Marchand, McAvoy. Point, Pasternak, Krug, Heinen, DeBrusk, and Carlo. And the shootout, yeah, there it is. All right, goaltenders, Tuukka Rask. And the scratch players, we got Gauntz, Lindholm, and Lazone. So we're a little bit weak when it comes to depth now. We're going to have to work on that in the future. We put all the money into Brayden Point right now, all right, ladies and gentlemen? So we really can't afford to have those depth players sitting off the bench. So when injuries happen, it's going to hurt. But I'm just hoping that we can get into the playoffs with this team. Brayden Point, second line center. And when you look at it, first line, 32 years of age, 35. All right, so these guys are leading your team now, the veterans. But Pasta is 24, Point's 24, DeBrusk is 23, JFK is 23, Heinen is 25. Hell yeah, man. Krug is 29, McAvoy is 22, Carlo is 23. So the Boston Bruins, they have reloaded right here. They still have the veterans, but they got some... some up-and-coming young talent that you should get very excited about. All right, so, and I just, let me just go back to edit lines for a second. The AHL, I just want to make sure, I'm not going to edit the lines of the AHL because they're going to be going back and forth from injuries and such. So I want to make sure that all the guys are playing. Yes, so there's not a single scratch player. So we have our guys Pitkanen and Moser that we just drafted down there. They will be getting ice time. All right, ladies and gentlemen, so there it is. We can start up the season simulation. I'd like to get like a good 2 months in, but for anyone who wants to just quickly see it, all right, look at that. There you go. All right, so McAvoy, Pasternak, Krug, Marchand, and there's Point. Pretty good, man. When you just look at all of our overalls, a 91, a 90, a 90, an 89, an 89, an 88, and a goaltender, what's Tuukka Rask at? A 90 overall with exact elite potential still. So, I mean, this is the year. This is the year. We lost Krejci, we lost Chara, sure, but Chara's the one that we lost because he was still 84 overall. If we were somehow able, there's no way we would have been able to hold on to him, though, in hindsight. So, yeah, we lost Chara, but we upgraded from Krejci, and all of our younger players got a little bit better. I think Bergeron dropped off by 1 point, but you know, you can make the argument that our team is better this season than it was last season. It better be better than this season than it was last season. Last season missing the playoffs. The time to win is right now. The window is closing, Boston. If we're going to win a second Stanley Cup with Patrice Bergeron and Brad Marchand, it's got to be this year. All right, it has to be this year. Salary cap compliance, blah, blah, blah. All right, players on waivers. Yeah, waivers might be an issue. Dayton Heinen, he's ready to go. I think he's already, hang on a second, edit lines manually. Was it just like a lingering injury? Yeah, he's already on the team. He's in the third line center position. So here we go. Scout assignments. No, I don't have any scouts on this team. I've already fired them all. So here we go. Very first game of the year, and it's up against the Tampa Bay Lightning, and we lose 5-4. Colorado Avalanche, we lose 4-3. Oh my God. 4 in a row in regulation we lose to start the season. Well, it's a new team. They've got to come together. They've got to find that chemistry. But that's a rough start. So the Tampa Bay Lightning, they get the final laugh. The defending Stanley Cup champions. They're not any worse for the wear without Brayden Point. And now they have our first, second, and third round picks. We better not miss the playoffs this year. My God, could you imagine? And then Tampa wins the lottery with our pick. I'll be pissed. Central scouting rankings, blah, blah, blah. Let's go. All right, so after starting the year 0-4, we've just gone 4-0. All right, so all over the place right now. I want to get a good month in so we can take a look at the individual stats, see if we can find any lines that are just not working well. But there you go, 6-5-1. So, you know, if you take away that 0-4, an 0-4 start, I mean, we're 6-1-1 in our last 8 games, right? So trending in the right direction, which is good news. It's always hard to figure out what your team's all about in the first month because, yeah, you gotta give the game some time to for the statistical anomalies to happen before everything comes back down to earth, right? So let me just go to edit. Let me not go to edit lines. Let me go to, yeah, because I want to see them all at once. Let me go to player stats. Let me see if anyone is a minus. If any line is clearly a minus line that I need to shake up. So forwards, all right, so DeBrusk, a -1, but 11 points in 12 games played. Jacob Forsbacka Karlsson, see what I mean about Jacob Forsbacka? 40 shots in comparison to DeBrusk's 22. So he's got that 7 goals in 12 games played. He's a +1. Marchand's a +3. Brayden Point, they're coming together, all right, so the second line just needs to come together a little bit more. The third line, Corey Perry and Kreider, they're -5, -6. So I think I could shake up that third line a little bit. Yeah, Heinen, Corey Perry and Kreider ain't getting it done. Perry's taking plenty of shots. Kreider, he's taking shots, he ain't scoring. Let me see Kreider, Perry, and their takeaways to giveaways here. Whoa. Takeaways, there you go. Kreider's doing fine. Perry's doing fine. Heinen doing fine. Now the line looks fine. I mean, I can shake it up a little bit. The line looks like it should be doing fine. Might just be the team, but I don't know. We've been trending in the right direction. So do I want to go another month, or could I change something up? I mean, I could always go like a Kreider down here for a Wayne Simmons. It's still +1. So yeah, let's try that. Let's just try Kreider on the fourth line. Remember, those guys are here for one reason and one reason only: depth for the playoffs. All right, they are not a part of the future for the Boston Bruins. I think I signed them to 2-year deals, so I'll be able to trade them if they start to get pissed off. But let's just go another month and see what we can find out. That third line was like -5, -6 after a month. That's not the greatest. All right, so Charlie McAvoy goes down with back spasms. His estimated return is November 20th. McAvoy's on the second line, so it's not the end of the world, so I'll just replace player. Lazone's going to go in there for right now. The 20th is only like 2 weeks away. I don't want to be doing micromanaging too much here. But there you go. Ever since moving Kreider down to the fourth line, there's 3 in a row, 3-0-1, or 3-1-0, 4-1-0 ever since Kreider's moved down, 4-2-0. 5-2-0, not too shabby. McAvoy should be coming back. There you go. So let me just go to edit lines manually. I will do some bigger line changes if we start to lose some games after an injury. But if I can get away with just inserting a certain player, because then I can come back and put McAvoy right back in there, and I don't have to do any line changes. It's just perfect. All right, so there's another W. Yeah, we're doing good. We're starting to win some games. 12-8-1. Remember that bad start as well. Boston player Wayne Simmons has been injured with a strained hammy. All right, so this one I am going to edit lines manually. All right, I'm going to move Kreider into that position. Let's see if Kreider's, he's still a -5, so the fourth line hasn't helped him. Let's just move him down. And in that spot, we're going to go with Gauntz. All right, we know Gauntz is left winger. Gauntz is a left winger. We brought this guy in. Nice cheap deal as well. Substitute in all lines. There you go. So the fourth line suffering a little bit now. Unless I go Kreider, there you go. They still get the +1s. All right, so Kreider, you're back to the fourth line. Colin Wilson, you're going to move up. He was a +4 on that fourth line, so they're doing a good job. JFK, he's a +5 on that second line with 20 goals in or 10 goals in 24 games. Brayden Point is a even player. DeBrusk -2. Marchand +6. Or you know what? It might be Carlo. It might be guys a +13. What about McAvoy? He's a +1. Yeah, it might have been because you got to think Carlo's getting a lot of ice time back there. He might be. I don't know. Vakinen, let's see. And they're a -3. I could always shake this up a little bit. Let's try McAvoy with Krug. All right. And then Vakinen with Carlo, which will allow Martinez to go to the third line, just so we can spread that depth out. All right. I'm just trying some things out right now. It's the regular season. I feel like we should be... Like, it must be our power play that's doing good, and maybe our penalty kill, which is allowing the goals. We have a good record. I mean, we're playing good. I'm just trying to find out why. Yeah, like our first and second line should definitely be in the positive for +/-. Player conversation. Patrice Bergeron has something to talk to you about. I am sorry for how I'm playing out there. You're not playing good, Patrice? What you doing, my man? GM Superb, man. Right now, I don't think I'm performing to the best of my abilities. Persuade. Although you haven't been performing, I'm confident in your abilities, and I know that you'll get out of it. You're our captain. Yeah, I can't convince. Patrice, well, I don't think you've been performing up to expectations. You shouldn't beat yourself up about it. Any suggestions? No. You just got to keep doing what you... I don't want him coming to me asking for more ice time, then getting pissed or asking for new lines. So, no, Persuade, you're doing fine, Patrice. Just keep it up. Thank you for the vote of confidence. I appreciate it. I'm glad we're on the same page now. All right. So the captain, Patrice Bergeron, at 35 years of age, still bitching and moaning. All right, Patrice, just pull yourself out of that rut. You don't have anything to worry about anymore, man. You got 2 beast line mates, Pasta, the young gun, on your right side, or your left side. Who is right or left? Shit. I think it's left side. And then you got Brayden Point as your replacement of the future. So just relax, my man. All right, so we are at December 1st. We have been winning some games recently. 17-8-1. Let me just go back to the calendar here for a second. Because ever since I moved made those changes, Carlo down to the second line. Let me see here. All right, so yeah, I mean we've been winning game. Oh yeah. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in a row. All right, so 17-8-1, ladies and gentlemen. Torrey Krug leading our team in points. So let's go back. Yeah, let's go back to this. I'll take a look at the team stats as well. Now would be a good time to make some final changes. Maybe ask you guys if we need to make a trade or anything. But we're just going to look at the Atlantic Division right now. Remember when I traded the first rounder, I didn't want the Florida Panthers first rounder for Bjork, right? It was the St. Louis Blues. The Florida Panthers at the top of the division. What about the Blues? The Blues, woo! We have the Blues first round pick, and they already have 15 regulation losses on the year. Oh, baby. Hell yeah. All right, so that could be real good for us, boys. The Edmonton Oilers, remember, they had Shattenkirk and Koivu now. They're at the top of the NHL. And the Boston Bruins are third in the NHL. All right, so, yeah, we were much better this season, thank God. Goals for per game. We are at 3.42. Damn, the Toronto Maple Leafs. 3.67. My goodness. I'm not going to complain with 3.42, though. That's great. Goals against per game. Oh, good. All right, so we're keeping the puck out of the net. I'd like that to get a little bit better. 2.25 would be real nice. But it's the new NHL. Everyone's scoring goals. Power play percentage, 22%. So our power play is great. And our penalty kill, 85%. All right, penalty kill is doing good as well. Could be better, but those other teams have come back down to earth. Yep, there's nothing to be touched right now. Our team is playing fantastic. And player stats, let's see this here. Forwards. All right, so we got Brayden Point, 22 points in 26 games played, a +1. Again, I could always change it up a little bit, but they've been trending in the right direction. And like I said, we've been winning games recently. Brad Marchand, 21 points in 26 games played. Pasta, 20. They're all plus players. DeBrusk, 18. Jacob Forsbacka Karlsson, see what I mean about this guy? 15 points in 26 on the second line. It's great. And he's a +6. All right, the most shots on the team, JFK. Marchand is right behind him, so you see that's why they score goals. Bergeron, 15 points. Yeah, I see why Bergeron's pissed off. But Bergeron, don't worry about it, my man. We got other goal scorers on this team now. You just got to win faceoffs, pass the puck, and be a good defensive player on that first line. Corey Perry, 8 goals. All right, so again, he's taking shots. Corrali, he's a plus player. What about Kreider now? Kreider's still a -4, so Kreider might be the guy who's the minus on the team. Although it has gotten better. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to keep him, obviously. I mean, you're not a whole team trying to go positive. That's tough unless you're a President's Trophy team, but my God. So Torrey Krug, 23 points. Carlo, 8 points. McAvoy, only 7 points. So now that we moved him back up to the first line, maybe that's helping us out. Maybe not. I don't know. Vakinen, a -1. Martinez, a -2. So I think that third line is starting to hurt a little bit, the top 6. And then goaltenders, Tuukka Rask, a .912 save percentage. What did he have last year? Like a 914? Yeah, 914. So he's actually did better last season than he did this season. Yeah, we missed the playoffs, 35 and 23. I mean, we got a better backup this season, which is helping us out. 1-2 in only 4 games played, 916 save percentage for Aaron Dell. All right, so we're gonna end it right there, Boston. I'd like to keep simulating, but you know what? I would like to go over any potential problems that you guys may see. The next video, we're gonna take it up to the trade deadline. All right, we got some simulating, but considering we don't have too many assets to move, and now that we went up to the cap brink with Brayden Point, I really don't have that flexibility to bring in anyone unless it's a cheap contract or unless we trade away a roster player. So I'll simulate to the end or to the beginning of the trade deadline in the next video, but if we're a great team and you guys don't think there's any trades to be made, we'll just take it to the end of the season. All right, so to give you guys a look-see on what potential trades we could make, let me just bring up trade players. I'll show you guys our salary cap situation and all that. All right, so 86, yeah, we have $0.6 million of cap space. Realistically, not much that we could do right there. Goaltender situation, we're not going to be trading for a starter or a backup. These two are the guys. Defenseman, we ain't trading you. We ain't trading you. Carlo, he's got a contract this year, but I'd rather hold on to him and bring him back for next season. Martinez, we can move on from, but $2 million, an 83 overall defenseman. Again, it's all about this season. That works out for me. Braun, we could certainly trade away Braun and his 2.75 and get a better defenseman at 81, 82, 83 overall, right? Vakinen's got to stay. You could improve on Braun. You could certainly improve on Braun. You'd have to trade away a draft pick. And then forwards, Pasternak, Marchand, no. Point, no. Bergeron, no. DeBrusk, no. You could trade away Kreider. You could trade away Kreider to improve on him if there was somebody out there. 5.75, and we'd want to move that contract just in case he drops from not playing too much this season. So Kreider could be somebody that we could move on from. We could definitely get a depth player at like $2 million for that. I'd rather hold on to Wayne Simmons because he's only at 2.75 for another year, so that's worth it. Same thing with Heinen. Perry's only a 1-year deal, so you're holding on to him. Jacob Forsbacka, Karlsson, Corrali. Yeah, I gotta say, it's got to be either Braun on the point and Kreider up front. But remember, even though Kreider is a -6, he's still helping out our team simulation. He's got 11 points in 26 games played, and having an 83 overall in the third or fourth line, that's going to help your sim, right? So let's not rip on the guy. I'm just afraid of that 5.7 for next season if I can't trade him away. I thought like this team, it's all new with Brayden Point on this team, right? Kreider had a bigger spot before that. But when it comes to draft picks, we don't have any seconds, but we do have the St. Louis Blues' first. But I think we should hold on to that because St. Louis Blues, let's see. 15 regulation losses already. That's big, man. That's big. And that could be a lottery pick. So by trading away that first, we potentially miss out. And we traded away our first for Brayden Point, so I'd like to hold on to it so we really don't hurt ourselves in the future. Yeah, we might just want to hold on to this. So anything and everything, boys. Braun and Kreider. Oh, yeah. Last but not least, let's just go through all of this. If there's a player that's just obvious for you guys, go ahead and point it out. I'm just going to sort by overall. So anyone at the top, there you go. Brody. All right, 5 years left at 5.4. Stastny, Pacioretty, Tanev, Hagelin. I could upgrade like Braun to Tanev or something, Hjalmarsson, Braun to Demers, Braun to Hjalmarsson. If you had the money, 1 year left, there you go. But an extension for Hjalmarsson. Goligoski, there you go. So you guys see what I'm talking about. Just upgrading your guy from an 80 overall to like an 82, 83. Atkinson and Joe Thornton, no. Filppula and Nelson, maybe. Broberg, no. Vatanen, 4.6 for another 4 years. Maybe if I can get him to take on. Spurgeon, no, that's not going to work out. Alsner, hell no. Zaka, no. Vanek, Merrill could be one. There you go, Merrill's one. McCann, no. San Jose, Vlasic, Dylan could be one. Ruta could be one. Moore could be one. All those 80 overall guys. And then we're back at the front. Yeah, Kachuk back at the front. All right, so let me know what you guys think. And I will see you in the next one. We take it to either the trade deadline or the end of year number 2. See you guys there. Hey guys, Johnny here, and thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, give us a like, hit that subscribe button, and make sure notifications are on so you don't miss out on any new content. We also live stream on Twitch where I take days off my life for your entertainment. Sonny Gray, get out of it. You stupid pieces of I should have gone with Jose for Fernandez. Oh my God, pitching change. Fernandez, get your ass in there. Oh, I swear to God, baseball God just decided to all over me. Grand slam, oh yeah. Make me miss the playoffs with a first-ranked team. Year 2, 30 games above 500, no divisional win, trip to the wild card. First inning.